Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd, and as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
After a Black Friday riot ends in tragedy, a mysterious Thanksgiving-inspired killer terrorizes Plymouth, Massachusetts, the birthplace of the infamous holiday. And I can't believe it, but I watched another goddamn Eli Roth movie.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Now, the funny
Okay.
thing is did you watch the Grindhouse where they did all these fake trailers?
No, I never did. I read on the trivia that the trailer is much different than what the actual movie ended up being.
There's some parts of the trailer that did make the movie, but I think from what I remember of the trailers, there's only maybe 2 other movies that they did fake trailers for that haven't been made. This was one of them, and then Machete was the other one.
I don't know. I don't remember what the trivia said. I know there's a handful or something. But
Yeah.
this is okay. I don't know how to put this. This is not a good movie, but I also think it's probably Eli Roth's one of his better movies. Though.
It's a fun movie. I will
It's
give
okay.
it that. It is a fun movie, not because it was good, but because it was fun.
The thing that I appreciated about this movie was it was campy.
It was campy, and I think that's the only way the storyline could have gone. But at some parts, I'm just like, oh no, Patrick Dempsey, no, don't, no.
I think there should be a drinking game where you're like, how many times does his accent cut in and out throughout the movie?
McDreamy,
like-
what are you doing?
I remember, well, the main thing that kind of made me want to watch this movie is not only because they turned the fake trailer into the movie, but there were some people like giving it good reviews saying that it was actually pretty good. So when it hit Netflix, Kim and I looked at it and were like, let's watch it. Might as well. It's on. Let's kill an hour, 2 hours? And
Yeah.
we saw it and it was like, okay, that was campy. And I remember texting Paul about it and seeing if you guys had watched it yet. And like, this is one that we're going to have to do. Because it's just, I knew this is going to be a good episode just because of your guys' hatred of Eli Roth and how campy this was.
Yeah, it's definitely very campy. And I mean, we've definitely heard some bad Massachusetts accents. I mean,
The only people that sound genuine were was it Lonnie or whatever his name was from the other high school?
Yeah.
And then the lady that he was fighting with, where she was
The
like,
thing
"Fuck
that-
you, suck my dick."
that whole scene made me have the question, does Eli Roth hate people from Massachusetts?
Here's the thing with me, though, is we're here in Arizona, we're in the West, where there's not a whole lot of accents. The thing that would drive me nuts, especially being a traveler, is going up to the Northeast and all of those damn different accents. Because Massachusetts has it, New York, Pennsylvania, you name it up there, they all have those different
They're
accents.
all
And
the
that's when
shade
it
of
drives
the
me
same.
absolutely nuts.
They're all
Yeah.
different shades of
They're
it
the
until you
same,
get to
yeah.
like Boston, and it's like, what?
Now,
Yes.
Boston and Maine are very close.
I don't know. Maine's more of like a harder kind of. I don't know. I think of Dolores Claiborne. Is when
Yeah.
you say Maine. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
there was
that's
many
the
times.
kind of-
There were many times in this film where Patrick Dempsey's Massachusetts
Yeah.
accent. I'm like, that is a Maine accent. I've heard that
Yeah.
terrible
Well,
accent
that's right.
in
You
Stephen
know what?
King movies before.
I didn't
like-
think about that. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, there were times that the accent did just disappear when he
Yeah.
was, especially.
Yes,
I've
like
done it
during
before.
his normal conversation, not there. When he
Yeah.
had to make a point, there it was.
Yep.
Yeah. No, especially like I've said before, like it's hard to yell at an accent, and when you have to yell words or be, like loud or something, I'm like that he definitely lost it there a few times.
There were some, and now I do not like Eli Roth generally. I was really happy that we didn't get, what was that douchebag's name that showed up with the armadillo? I don't remember. And that one film that he was in.
Are we talking about Hucklebilly?
No.
No.
The hitchhiking guy.
Oh, okay.
His-
Yeah, when
his
he was
character.
a hitchhiker. Yeah.
No, Angie, this is a serious movie.
Yes, a serious movie with random stock footage.
Hey, you got to work within your budget, all right?
Yeah.
There were some moments of like the newscast and like this is very generic stock footage.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see it in the credits.
Yeah,
Stock
but
footage.
I did like some of the campy lines, like when the opening scenes when they're going through, and Kathleen's a cunt, by the way. Kathleen, the stepmom, she's very much a cunt.
She's straight up gold digger.
She
like,
is.
Oh, yeah.
That's very much her.
'Cause, yeah, she was a real estate agent.
Yeah, her like, don't you mean our house? No, I didn't mean our
bitch.
house.
Well,
That's
it
why I
was funny
didn't
too that
say
the
it.
boyfriend said, "Is like, hey, the engagement was quick. Hopefully, the divorce is even quicker."
Yeah.
Oh, and when they're doing that flash in between, like the rich family and then the Black Friday people who have to work family, and that's where Patrick Dempsey comes in. That fucking turkey that they were like, "Oh, carved." I
What
was like,
was wrong
that
with it?
was not cooked.
I was like, what did you do? Because you didn't cook that thing.
That
don't look right.
Looked like you took it out after an hour.
Like, you guys just put that in there.
Like you put it in at 200 and left it in for an
Like,
hour, and that's all you cooked it.
Imagine you go to someone's house, and like you have nowhere to go, and you see that, and I'm like, I'm a vegetarian.
I
This
like that
sucks.
skin didn't even like have a chance to
Yeah.
cook at all. Like, what did you all do to this thing?
When he gets the phone call saying that the store opens in 10 minutes, I'm like, yeah, that's like the longest 10 minutes in like cinema history to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, it opens in 10 minutes.
And there's
5
no
minutes
way
go by. It's
that
open in 10 minutes.
if somebody else was MIA on Black Friday or on Black Thursday or whatever, that they would wait till 10 minutes before the store was supposed to open.
yeah.
They would have been like, this bitch was supposed to show up 5 minutes ago. Call in the backup
Yeah,
because he
call him.
ain't here. Like, they would immediately be like, everybody's getting in here.
I'm just going to say that there's no job that is worth any of that shit. I mean,
No.
obviously,
No.
this is a movie and not everyone dies. But I mean, you even see the fucking, the videos of regular Black Friday shit where people rush in and get trampled and all that shit. Like, nothing is, there's
And-
no
yeah,
job
and-
worth that.
And on the opposite side of that, there's no deal. worth
There's no
that.
deal worth that.
They're all getting their what? Their waffle
It's the
maker?
Their
free
waffle
waffle
iron,
iron.
yeah.
Waffle iron. There you
Even
go.
the guy that got gashed in the neck, he's like, I gotta get waffle iron.
Yes. I
Until
did
that
like.
bitch yanked it out.
I did love that the security guard outside was like, Xanax. Like, he was just offering the other security. He's like, you want a Xanax? I'm like, that's what you need on a Black Friday morning. Or I guess it's Thanksgiving.
Fuck you, fuck your sister, fuck your cousin.
See, I was like,
Fuck
why?
your dog.
I was like, does Eli Roth hate people from Massachusetts? Why did he make them so trashy?
I don't know.
We got a score to settle.
And like, they were
Now,
super trashy.
The thing that I do have to ask you guys, since we all came from retail in the past, what was the worst Black Friday moment you remember?
I have blocked them out. I don't remember any of them.
I don't remember them really. Just waking up in general. I think is shitty.
Yeah.
Then fucking, I remember.
I've done my best to suppress that part of
Yeah,
my life.
I know.
After doing it for so many years, I remember one year I worked at Target, and I'm walking into the
get
let into-
their sponsorship.
to get let into the building, and I had people offering me $50 to let them in early. And I finally get into the store, and I'm working over there in electronics, and I have like a clear beeline sight to the front of the store. As soon as they opened the doors, it just opened up the floodgates of people just running in. I'm like, holy shit.
There's nothing worth that.
There wasn't anything worth it either. It's
There
just
never is. All of her friends are the worst. The very worst. Evan is especially the worst. You get that right off the bat.
he's a douche.
Okay, here's my question about these high school kids, right? Okay, so I want to say, like, I know Eli Roth movies. He's always like, oh, I wanted to make a movie like this, right? He said in interviews and stuff like, I try to pay homage to this movie or that movie or take elements. I'm like, this movie is a straight up like, we're going to take parts of Halloween. We're going to mix in My Bloody Valentine. Like, we're just going to, like, throw them together, right?
Yeah.
And so this literally felt like almost parts, like it was 3 different movies.
Yeah, my critique at the end of this movie was this feels like Eli Roth's like ode to late 90s, early 2000s movies.
Yeah, it was like a late 90s, early 2000s movie with an 80s feel to the whole, like, slasherism of it all. And so, like,
with 70s camp.
There's such a mishmash of things in there that's like, it doesn't know where it's going. Yeah, there's at one point where it's after they're at the high school, Evan and the other chick get kidnapped or whatever. They do like this slow, like artsy kind of slow motion pullback, and I'm like, that's not this movie. Like,
Oh, you
what
mean
Yeah.
with the strings?
Yes, yes, and I'm like, that belongs in an A24 movie. Like,
Yes.
that belongs in like a
Yes.
a fucking thinking kind of horror movie. Like a thriller or something that's crazy, or even I think they use that shot in Knives Out really well.
Yeah.
with the strings and all that, but it didn't belong in this movie. This movie was just a mishmash. But even saying that, this is probably one of his most coherent movies, even though he's like, we're just going to straight him and the writer that came up with him. I know it's not, strictly Eli Roth or whatever, but the guy that wrote it with him, I think, they've worked together a few times. So like they kind of on the same page about these things, it seems like.
Yeah, that scene definitely didn't belong in the same movie that has the line Waffle House level cringe.
So no, okay. So
And also, I dare that bitch to say that in a Waffle House. I dare her. Like,
I don't know.
Go
You get
stand
punked
in it.
in the Waffle House.
Yeah.
I think people would be like, I get it. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because she's talking down about
No.
the Waffle House. That's
No,
what it is.
no,
yeah.
no, because
and
I
she
think-
would, there would be somebody
No,
that'd be
because
like, is this bitch talking down about me?
If they were in a video, then yes. But if other people are like, I get what you mean. Yep, I seen some shit at a Waffle House. Like the people there
No,
that aren't
I'm-
in the videos,
No,
the people
I'm
that
saying
take the videos.
In a Waffle House.
No, I'm saying the people in the Waffle House, the people that would take the videos would agree with what she said.
No.
The people that are on the videos would take
Why are
offense to
you
what she's
arguing
saying.
with me?
Because I'm saying that's my point. You're arguing with me.
No, I'm not. I dare her to say in a Waffle House. She's going to get slapped.
Okay, my point about the teenagers is, does anyone care like about their high school that much anymore? That it's
No.
like, oh, I beat the shit out of this guy from Hanover, blah blah blah. Like Hanover suck. Is this just the generic setup for like other '80s slashers, that kind of thing? That high school rivalry thing.
There were
'Cause I'm
lots
like,
of
I don't
moments
think
like that.
kids care anymore.
There was another
I never really even cared
scene
when I
like
was in high
that.
school either.
No.
Even when I played sports, I was like,
we weren't the
Yeah,
carers.
I didn't care that much.
well, the thing about it though too is like a lot of my high school rivals, I had people there that I went to grade school with, and because we got into high school, they had to go to a different one. So it's like, I went to grade school with these guys. Why do I supposed to hate them?
You live
Because-
2 blocks over, but apparently
Yeah.
it's another high school.
There was a lot of little spots like that with Evan being the worst. There was a spot where they're in class and they're supposed to be reading their papers or whatever, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
another guy's like, and that's why I'm never celebrating Thanksgiving again. And he like throws his paper down, and like the girls are like, oh my god, you're so brave. I was like, oh, what is that about? Like there are parts like that. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it's almost like is this like a personal vendetta against like specific people? Like,
And
what-
in general, there was just a lot of dick swanging in this movie. The two boyfriends, the
Scuba.
Bobby with the
No.
glass,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
the other
Bobby
two.
and
Bobby with the
Ryan.
glass hand, and because that bitch is like, tell me why his hand just fucking crumbled. I'm like,
That
why
folded
your
in,
whole
like,
ass
4
hand
places.
just crumbled, man?
yeah.
I'm
that
like,
was
what
just
the
like,
fuck?
oh, it was like a fucking like dominoes just felt like
Yes.
what? Why would it break
Yes.
like that?
I'm like, why? Was
And I
that
know it's just
happen?
over the top for the campiness
Yeah.
of it. So I will say this though, like in the parts they did the good cheese, like this is how you do good cheese. So I'm saying if you're gonna do it over the top. Did you make it like that? Like I mean, if you're gonna
There
do it,
was
you're gonna
a
bring it.
point during
All
the
the-
stampede moment when I was like, I swear I'm going to hear Robin Williams going, "It's a stampede" from Jumanji, because that was how it was set
To
up.
me, the top camp was just that opening scene with the deaths of everybody in there, because that's where you had to go over the top. You couldn't not go over the top with those death scenes, because
Yeah.
when Gina Gershon gets tripped and gets rammed in by, 2 shopping carts?
Yeah,
Like, a lot of those, like,
Okay.
you just...
I'm sorry, you would have survived that. That was
Yeah.
a minor scalping at
Yeah.
best. Like there's okay, you got a wig on, like you.
well, no,
so,
I don't think it was the scalping that killed her. I think it was meant to be like the head wound, because she like bled out, and I don't think that was supposed to. I think she was bleeding out.
I think
before
it
the
more so was that
scalping.
it broke her neck.
I don't know. It didn't seem like enough though, like that it would kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wanted more. I guess if you're gonna bring it, why not? Like you broke the dude's hand, like, and I know that like all these deaths are like you're setting up.
Bobby's
Could it-
whole ass arm.
Could
was
it be
glass.
this guy? Could it be like I think I wrote that somewhere. I'm like, oh, could it be Bobby, the former pitching star, the new deputy in town? Like they were setting up all these different people.
Yeah.
Like
Ugh.
who's the killer?
Okay, so here's this question: were you guys faked out by any of them?
Not really. The thing that I was expecting to be 2 of them. I don't know
You were
why.
expecting a scream ending?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was expecting at least 2 of them.
I kind of thought there might have been multiple, but I think I didn't get thrown off by who the killer may or may not be. But what threw me off at one point is I'm like, did Deputy and Detective Chu fuck each other? And
It's
are we ever
possible.
going to get resolution on that? Because I was
No,
like,
it was just strong sexual tension.
I'm
the
like,
whole
are they
time.
the killers? Maybe, or is that what they're leading to? Or did they like? I'm like, what's the resolution with Detective Chu and the new deputy? Like, I never got that.
Yeah.
None. They're just that's
I
sexual
need-
tension is just there.
No, because they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, something happened with you two.
Well, yeah, he told them to fuck off, and then they met and had a rendezvous later and fucked off together.
I don't know. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
something was gonna happen.
Who did you guys think it was for the for most of it.
For most of it, the whole movie came down to the stepmom or the detective or the deputy. Those were my two top runners. The
I
whole
kept
movie.
thinking it was going to be Bobby, but I'm like, that's too much of an obvious answer. And then
Yeah, I didn't think Bobby would because I'm like, they're not going to completely rip off, like. I mean, My Bloody Valentine or any of those. Because they're all kind of. My Bloody Valentine ends up being the guy, the Ryan character in this movie.
Initially, I thought it was going to be one of the, like I said, I thought it was Bobby for the longest time, and then I thought it was the other boyfriend.
Ryan?
Yeah.
Ryan was such a Herdberger, man. He was like, terrible dude. Like, oh, hey, I'm like, just, dude, she's got a boyfriend.
I know. I'm like, did you just try to buy all your girlfriend's friends with those football tickets? I was like, that's the douchiest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, that's gross.
And those dudes would be like, sure, we'll take your free tickets.
Sure,
we don't have to like you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, all right, okay.
Yes, my bottom comment on the whole opening scene is Patrick Dempsey's accent is not great.
I don't know. I text Paul this, but I have to bring it up. Bobby, to me, looked like a bootleg Mark Sanchez just because of that weird hair and that. I don't know what the hell he was doing with that hair.
Who is Mark Sanchez?
He is a former quarterback. Pretty bad quarterback at the least. He was decent in college, but as soon as he got to the pros, the only thing he'll ever be remembered for is the butt fumble.
I don't even know what that means.
I'll show it to you when we get done.
Okay.
But he
like you're going to demonstrate it?
No, I'll pull it up on YouTube. He literally...
I like my idea better. I want to get video of that.
Of the butt fumble?
Of you doing the butt fumble, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I need somebody to run
for
into
the podcast.
I need somebody to run into to do the butt fumble.
The couch.
I do get what you're saying about the whole setup of other horror films because I put classic masked killer outside the window foo because there was definitely that shot of John Carver outside after his axe conveniently gets stolen.
Okay. Here's a horrible person horror PSA. I'm going to throw in there real quick, and this is for horrible people only, right? So. When they go to the Carver house thing, right? Is that what it was? The Carver house?
Yeah.
Right. So they go to the Carver house and they're going like, we're going to shoot the commercial. But then they find out that it was vandalized, right? They close that off as a crime scene, right? It's like, we need to investigate this.
Yeah.
No one ever looks at a crime scene again. So that's why he was able to go do that. I mean, obviously he was the sheriff and all that.
Yeah.
But
it's closed down.
No, it's a horrible thing that I've heard, call an anonymous tip and say, this is where a body can be found. They'll search that area, and then after they search that, you go dump the body there.
That's
we already
horrible
we
person
can't spend
PSA.
time and money to go back
No,
there.
we already searched there. No, we already searched there. We're not going to look there again.
There's no point in going back.
Yeah.
You didn't find
so
anything.
that's exactly why that worked, and why he's able to just do that, because they're like, there's a crime scene, we can't go over there. And people just think, there's tape. Don't go over there. We can't go there. Don't even go near there.
I did think it was funny, and I liked the whole John Carver's silhouette and mask. I thought it was.
What kid wouldn't want to wear that?
I was like, it's kind of hilarious, but it also kind of works in a creepy way.
It's simple, and I'm like, it looks like a weird Puritan Jesus. I think.
Yes, for sure it was Jesus-y.
I don't know. I don't know why, but it looked like Colonel Sanders to me, but with darker hair.
Young Colonel Sanders. That was.
Like
I could see that.
His late 20s.
Yeah, he was like,
Before
I'm
he was
going to
the
grow my
colonel.
hair out a bit. It was the stage that he was in his life.
He hadn't figured out he was the colonel yet.
I put later that the eye holes were like pencil, pencil size. So I'm like, you can't see shit. Like, how are you going to do any of this? That's why.
Well, did you see how many times he missed looking around for all the people? He couldn't see anything.
Especially in the creepy cosmetology part of the high school.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, they had to get their use out of that room because we had to see it twice.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the good locations they got for filming, so we got to use that.
Now, the other question I have is when they kill the waitress, the first victim of John Carver, how the hell does the top of
the trash can kill her? Yeah, that was my
cut her in
question.
half.
Did she get sliced in half?
Even
if it was kind of heavy, I don't think it would fully slice you in half unless it was I don't even know if you slammed it down.
Yeah, I'm saying even if you were laying across it and two guys grab it and slam it down, I think at the very least you may break something, but I'm like, it's going to be a very, very thick bruise.
You're not even
it's
going
not
to
going
break
to be
anything.
I mean, I don't know if you did it right, and depending on the person, you could maybe break vertebrae or some shit in the back.
I don't even think that.
But I think you're just going to end up with a really deep bruise.
Yeah, something like that. You're definitely going to need to go to the hospital and get looked at. But
Yeah,
I don't think
a
you're
weekend
going to
on the
be like
couch.
split in half like she was.
See, and that ruined the one thing. I'm like, I loved that they used the kitchen thing where he kind of, he did that drowning thing and then he stuck her to the freezer wall real quick. I loved that. I'm like, that's very, I'm like, I don't know if that's been done before in other movies, and I'm like, that was fun. I'm glad that they use that. That's something in the environment that you could use.
They haven't used it before because no waitress would leave her closing shift with a sink full of dishes and water in it. That's one of my notes. You don't. That's not a closing shift if you're walking out and there's a sink full of water.
Hey, she doesn't work in the kitchen. What they do back there is none of her business. So if somebody left the sink full, that's not her problem. She's not the dishwasher.
At least empty it. Like,
what
are you doing, man?
That ain't my job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that ain't my job. I ain't doing it.
No, but she was such a cunt in the beginning, and then she's even more of a cunt when the kids come back.
Yeah. Like, what do you little shits want?
She's like, you actually have to wait your turn here. And again, Maine. That was very Maine. It was very Dolores Claiborne.
Well, they filmed it in Ontario, wasn't it, or was it Toronto?
So.
Or was I think it said somewhere in Canada. I know
Canada
that for sure.
somewhere. Oh, I also had the thing when because she's talking about the kids like sneaking in earlier. You gotta wait your turn here. I really was annoyed at the beginning when they do sneak in to the store or whatever because she lets them in, like her friends. She lets her friends in or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I thought this was a stealth mission. I'm like, bitch, you knew who your friends were. You knew who fucking Evan was. You met assholes. That douche before. Yeah. Like, get out of here with that nonsense. And I love later when Mr. Glassbones does return, and he's like, I blamed you for what happened. And I was like, good, because you should. And I hope you fucking sued because you would have really cleaned up.
I don't know. Unless he had insurance on his arm, I don't think he could. I mean, he could sue, but I don't think he couldn't get much. Is what I'm saying.
For Black Friday abuse?
Well, okay, in the
you could show negligence by only having two guards.
They even mentioned that too.
Negligence is one thing, but gross negligence is another thing, and that's where the money is. You can't. Gross negligence is very hard to prove.
Still, I hope he should have blamed that bitch. You should have been like, yeah, let's go on fucking
No, he was like,
Thursday.
can I stay in the car?
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to go in there. Here? He tried to even avoid it by saying, I had to take some pictures.
And you know why he had to go in? Because of fucking Herdberger Ryan. He was like, oh, hey, why don't you come over? I'm like, dude, I have a boyfriend. Oh, but that's cool. We're going to play some drinking. Dude, I have a boyfriend. Yeah, bro, she's got a boyfriend. Yeah. I guess we're going inside now.
Oh, you know what is another random weird 80s thing? The McCarty character.
Oh, yeah.
The McCarty party and gun sales.
Mm-hmm.
I loved McCarty. He was like, and for some reason, I'm like, he was the best part of this fucking movie. Like, he was like a mix of me. I wrote down Mike Damone, which is the dude from Fast Times at Ridgemont High that sells tickets and like he's always like trying to sell shit. And then Mo from The Stuff. Yeah, he always wants Mo. So I'm like, that is that character. Like, he is those kind of guys. And I'm like, I thought he was fucking hilarious. And I love when he shoots off the musket later, and then his dad's like, "Sorry, my kid's a fucking idiot."
I think my favorite part of the movie though is when they had the party, and they had those kids come in.
Another satisfied customer.
No, when he was talking about when Black Sabbath, when they fired Black Ozzy.
Yeah, I wrote down like, you rightly so throw those little bastards off your property.
They would not know.
He was like, "Who's Black Sabbath?" I'm like,
they better learn then.
None of those.
He had every right to throw him out when you don't know who Black Sabbath is or Dio. Those are
You're
two
telling
things.
me if I went and asked your kid right now?
She's too young though.
She's too young. Well, she knows. She knows whatchamacallit, Crazy Train, but she doesn't know who sings it because
the kids know the songs at least. All right, I mean, that kid had no fucking clue.
Yeah, but still, he had like no clue. Like, who's Black Sabbath? And he had every right to throw his ass out. But when he went on his rant about how he started talking about how when this happened, and the kid just wanted to know who Black Sabbath was, kicking him out. Yeah, get rid of him.
Give him a catty patty. Get him a t-shirt.
He's like, get the fuck off my property.
When John Carver comes for the second victim, that guard, I'm like, that guard should have left in shame right after that incident. Like, you don't just walk away from your job and then people die and you just chill out at that town for a few more years.
This in real life me, if I have something important to me that I do not want to lose at all, the last thing I'm going to do is throw it somewhere where I might lose it. Because he couldn't, he threw his passport down with his keys and everything else.
Yeah.
and then he goes back for it.
Yeah.
That me, I'll be like,
I'm-
no.
I'm keeping that in my hand.
Like,
in my
I'm
pocket.
keeping that either in my hand, in my pocket, somewhere where I'm going to be checking for it.
Like, as long as I have this, I can get the fuck out of here. I don't care about any of this other shit. Like, if I
Yeah.
lose my bag, whatever, I have my fucking passport, I can get the fuck out of here.
Like
And really, you got to get out of the town before November. Like, why are you even still in town?
No, I wrote down this is what you get for waiting to the last minute. Like, I mean, I get that, the murder's happening now and you maybe didn't know, but I'm like, you probably had fucking PTSD and you were feeling antsy. You should have left in fucking, the 1st of November at least.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It's
Fuck
like,
out of there. I mean, even if you couldn't afford, the DR at that point, like, go somewhere else for a little while, then go to
right?
the DR.
Get a Motel 6 in, like, Florida somewhere, not on the coast. That's, like, super cheap.
Just not in this town. Just
Yes.
Not
Just
in
not
November.
there.
Go away. Take the train somewhere
I
else.
spend 11 months in this town, and then
Mhm.
1 month I'm not here.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you
That's
go.
all you got to do.
But instead, you get death by electric. Is it an electric carver, or is it just called an electric
Use
knife?
the electric knife,
Yeah.
which is, that's been done. But
And
it's
then-
another little homage to.
Yeah, and then you have the
80s.
fatality. I call this John Carver's fatality, where he does the head thing, the removal of the head. I'm like, that's a fatality move if I've ever seen
Mortal
one
Kombat.
before.
What
you
I
gotta
wrote.
finish him.
Carving knife kill into a double reverse axle decapitation with a twist. I think I wrote down. I'm a security guard. I kill people every day.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, no, bro.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You've
You
never
for
killed
sure
anyone.
don't. Yeah,
Anyone that's ever
no.
killed anyone, like, you could tell, like, if someone looks at you and says, "I've killed people before," you could know right away if they're full of shit or not. There's just something, And that guy, no. Anyone says, "I've been a security guard, I've killed people," I'm like, no, you haven't.
No.
Security guards have killed no one.
It was this scene where I had narrowed it down between the stepmom and the sheriff. Because when he comes back to feed the kitty, I was like, oh, he's a good kitty. Do we deserve to be fed? And so I was like, okay, it's either a woman or it's somebody who's not a complete dick. And then it was the sheriff.
Yeah.
But the lady was coming anyway, so the cat would have been fine.
Yeah, the lady was supposed to be there. But I was happy that he got fed. He was such a cute little cat. He was standing there like, are you going to not fill my bowl? Come on.
The first time they get the table thing, and Jess is like, "Our names are at the table." They're like, "Why did you have to say that so horribly?" Like,
There were
Like,
a
it
lot
was
of
just-
her lines that
like,
were not delivered.
were you just overacting there? Like, why? She had a confused. As I'm like, are you related to Freddie Prinze Jr.? Like the way you delivered that line, and then with that confused look on your face, and I think she had her mouth open too.
I'm convinced Evan was character
It's
acting
FPJ.
like Freddie Prinze Jr. the whole time. Like his tantrum after the game was canceled after the other two other Massachusetts
Okay. Let's talk about
people
that.
get killed.
Yeah, let's get to that in a bit when we get to that point. With those kills were so ridiculous.
They were
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous. I was really expecting the way they had set up the trampoline, like the girl on the trampoline. I'm like, oh, are they gonna cut her in half, or is it gonna be something like ridiculous,
I'm like-
right? But then it was just like stabbing through the trampoline.
No, I'm
and I
like,
was,
okay,
weird.
What? Okay, my thing was like, why did that happen? Like any of that happen, right? Like, because I'm assuming they're supposed to have a game too. Like, I don't know if they were playing each other that week. Or
That night, apparently.
Yeah,
because the
so-
game gets canceled.
so I'm assuming that's what it was. That was the setup. Like they were going to play each other. So like they're in the weight room and whatever, and then she's like, "Oh, hey, come with me." And I notice he mentions like I can't have sex or whatever. So I'm like,
Yeah, coach is real strict about it. Like, what?
So I'm like, what was the point of any of that? The whole trampoline setup? Like, who would go to all that trouble for just you're going to watch me jump on a trampoline without my underwear on?
Yeah.
Like, who would do that? No
Maybe
one.
she wanted to jump and then flash some beeve. I don't know. Do guys like flying beeve on
No, I'm saying-
trampolines? I don't know. Is that a thing y'all are into?
But if I was like, I can't have sex right now for like whatever reason, why would that be the first place that a woman would go?
I don't
That's what
know.
I'm saying. And obviously men wrote this.
Men wrote this, yes.
But my point is like, who would be like, all right, and then they're going to do them like, really?
Yeah, right. Because if you think about it, as like a woman was like, you know what he wants? He wants to see my vagina flying through the air. That's what he wants.
I've got to grab the 15-foot trampoline and pull it into the middle of the gym,
and then put the spotlight
and then
on it
make sure
directly.
the spotlight's on.
I want this
That's
well
a lot
lit.
of planning.
I
And
need
then
this well lit.
I'm gonna go, and we're gonna go through the back where the costumes are, and then we're gonna open the curtains, and he's gonna sit on the stage. And what was the end of this? Like, where do you stop? Like,
She
'cause
said
I'm like,
it's just a little tease. But
yeah,
I'm like,
but I'm like, as the guy, like when you're like, okay, enough. Like,
I'm gonna go
I
I
need to
gotta-
get back.
Gonna go back to the weight room
I got
now.
a game in an hour. I don't. Where does this end?
Do you want your panties?
Okay. That's very nice of you. I guess.
Thank you so much.
God damn it.
And also, there's no way I'm believing Patrick Dempsey's could turtle a motherfucker's head all the way around. Nope.
Nope.
Sorry.
Did you say turtle around?
No, his head all the way
You said
around.
turn around?
Turn his
Turn
head
around.
all the way around.
I thought you said turtle his head around. I'm like, you mean like an owl? What the fuck do you mean
Yes.
turtle his head
Yes.
around? I'm like, it
Owled his
didn't
head
go in.
straight around.
He
yeah.
didn't. He didn't give her the fucking
I'm
death
like-
becomes her and shove his head down in there.
Even during his sexiest of is that this year? When did he get sexiest? As a
I don't
man
know.
here? I
Like,
don't
is it
remember.
a year or so ago. I don't know.
But
Weird.
even then, I
he's
was like,
rebranding.
no. And then even during his Grey's Anatomy years, when he was like lifting and on TV all the time, nope, still not believing it. You're not turning a man's head all the way around, McDreamy. I'm sorry, you're just not doing it. Okay.
See, that's why I thought it was 2.
You scrawny sheriff.
I mean, he wasn't even taller than the security guard. That's why he had to take his head. Did you guys notice? I'm like, he literally had to, like, it was short man syndrome because he had to make that man the same height as him.
See, and true to slashers, they kept changing the person that was the killer, so you don't know what fucking size the person is.
He went from tall to short.
Yeah, at one point I'm like, this one has to be a woman. Like that's just the way that the difference in size and everything.
Yeah.
Like that's a stunt woman apparently.
When after Evan does throw that tantrum because the
They cancel the
trampoline
football
of death
game.
happens.
Wait a minute. So he turtles the guy's head around.
No, he
and
owls
then
him.
and then he
decided.
has
He
to,
owls
and
him.
he turtles the guy's head around, has to go off the stage, and then sneak up under the trampoline
Yep.
and set up his spikes. And
I thought it was a sword.
I don't know. I
don't
mean,
know.
I couldn't. It was a spike or a sword or it was something. I don't know.
Maybe it was
It
a
definitely-
javelin.
It definitely. I don't know. Like where's that scene where he's like rifling through like? And okay,
The
and I,
sports
like,
equipment.
no, where about? I wrote down. I'm like, how fucking convenient there was. These two people at Hanover are just at the same place at the same time in a room by themselves where no
Right.
one else is gonna see.
And at the school, why would
Yeah.
why didn't I just do it at their house instead of at the school? But anyway, that scene
Because
was
he had
ridiculous.
a game. He had a game. There.
They
He
did,
couldn't-
I
He couldn't
guess.
leave.
I
He had a
guess.
game. He couldn't leave. Coach said you can't leave. You can't have sex. Can't leave.
Can't leave. But after Evan throws that tantrum and
Oh God. Oh God.
I'm gonna go play football by myself, I was like, what?
You can't play football by
I'm
yourself,
like,
man.
But like he stumps off. And
Watch me.
And then his girlfriend has to go get him or whatever. And is it Jessica sitting there waiting? And she's like, "Do you guys just want to? I'll just meet you later." And they're like, "No, wait." I'd been like, "No, you guys can stay here and get murdered." But why do they look so weird when they walk back in? I'm like,
No.
do they think this is a dream sequence? Like, why
No,
are they
okay.
so weird right now?
Okay, I think what it is like the last thing you hear from him is like, "Watch me," and like he storms off. And then they walk back in. He's all just calm, like, "Yeah, we're gonna go get dressed. Let's go
Like
get something to
dreamy,
eat."
like he's like la la la.
I'm like, did she
Like,
drug this motherfucker?
I
Like,
would imagine so.
Did he
Give him
just
some
get a
Addies.
Hummer in
like
the
she would.
parking lot?
Maybe that's
Like,
what coach or not coach. Sheriff was like, "Wait, maybe we should go after him.
Maybe go calm him down.
Why don't you come and BJ? Just get, he's a little upset. The game's over. I don't know why he's an old man all of a sudden.
It depends.
Yeah, so it had to be like, I'm good.
And they're like, no way. I'm like, no, I'm gonna head on out. Y'all just stay here in the weird, creepy high school, the empty high school. No, I'm not staying here.
That's the thing. And I'm like, they're targeting the kids, and then you're like, all right, just go in the empty high school by yourself, and we're gonna turn half the lights off because budget cuts.
Yeah.
I wrote, and then it turns into McCarty Party and the Gun Emporium.
Nope.
And they go, and like, it's like, hey, you got anything I can have for a gun? And I'm like, first of all, McCarty isn't just handing out guns to these kids. Like, he would be like, and now where's my payment? Now where's my money? But,
I don't know. They were friends. You mean when he gave the gun to Scuba?
yeah, when he gives the gun to Scuba, I'm like, I don't know about all that. And like, he just seemed like he was way like, we're friends. And I'm like, you're not even that close to these kids. Like, it made it seem like they don't even really care about
Death
him.
brings people together.
I guess.
It's you know.
Can I tell you though
It
who my
unites.
my favoriteest character of this whole film is?
Oh.
Jacob.
Nope.
I don't know. Was there a Jacob?
The Russian dad.
Oh.
I
That
love
wrote
him
down. I'm like,
so
why?
much.
I wrote down why, and I used Cody for this. Like, why is Yulia all of a sudden so like fucking hardcore Russian?
Yeah, just
Like,
all of a
the
sudden
dad
out
just
of
showed
nowhere.
them, Yulia, we go to Florida now.
I love
What
him
the
so much. Like, get in the car.
I
We
guess
go
we're
to
going
Florida.
to Florida.
We go to Florida.
I love
What?
him.
It's like, I guess we're going to Florida now.
We go to Miami.
And then he's like, pack faster, we go. She's like, I'm hurrying, okay.
And then the fucking noise canceling headphone gag. I enjoyed that. And I'm like, this would be just an old man with noise canceling.
Yeah.
People like, what?
The corn thingies, I don't remember what they're called, but those little things.
Corn
The
holders.
holders.
The
little
holders
stabby
into the
holder
ears.
things. Yeah.
That whole scene took me back to the 90s and Sleepwalkers, where he goes after the cop with the corn,
one ear
or the
corn
mom does,
left.
yeah, and like she stabs him in the back with the corn.
That's what I was
That
like.
makes me
I
think of.
I didn't think of that, but now that you mention it, it does bring back that memory. But I think I wrote down, why here, just have this tin full of
Food.
ears of corn.
Leftover.
Yes.
I'm like, what? I think he's like, oh, thing. I'm
Like, I
like,
can just have
hey,
this?
5 whole ears of corn ready to eat. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, and then
I'm
he's-
like, what do you want me to do with this, asshole? I don't want fucking corn. Back to the high school for a second. So we get the creepy cosmetology scene where, you know, she hides with the heads and all that. She uses, I think it was hairspray or something.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
sprays it and
Hairspray.
then she gets out. You know, knowing that we know the ending and all that shit, right? I wrote down, like, Sheriff, why do you smell like hairspray?
Right?
I'm like, nobody's thought of these things. It's little details.
Even he says it. It's they do little things to slip up.
Watching this movie, I'm like, this is like if when his character in Scream would have ended up just being the murderer.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically how I felt this whole movie went. He's just the same guy, but just if he was the murderer, this is how it would have ended. And then just throw Thanksgiving and a bunch of other movies like My Bloody Valentine in the mix.
Well, back to the like corn and the ear, that scene when I knew it was going to happen because McCarty said it earlier. Just don't forget to turn the safety off or on, and he tries shooting him. It was like, yeah, you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and then he just throws bitches into the table saw.
And he's like, "What do I do?"
I know. I was like, "What do
What
I
do
do?
I
What
do?
the fuck do you mean? Put it back in. What do you want her to say?"
Get some duct tape.
What do I do?
That's
What do I do?
it's such a man-written story asking the woman what to do. Like she fucking knows. Like she's
She's
put
dead. He was-
bitches back
He was
together
in
from
shock.
a table
All
saw.
right, he was
okay?
in shock, and he was
And
like,
she
"There's-
wasn't.
It's like there's stuff hanging out. Like, you don't know how people are going to react.
What
to
do I
stuff.
do?
If anything, you do
I
have to
don't know.
appreciate about the
Somebody
dude.
fix it.
He wasn't killing innocent people. He tranked those two. He tranked the dad and he tranked the cop.
Yeah.
I'm
See.
assuming he was going to kill them all. Though.
No, I didn't think so. I thought he just tranked them. He didn't want them,
Yeah.
so he just left
Yeah,
them
So
there.
he said somewhat of a conscience. I'm not killing innocent people.
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
even the one he takes out at the
he
parade,
was,
the
he was
turkey.
trying to right the wrong, I guess.
Yeah, even the turkey when he takes the turkey out at the parade when he's dressed as the creepy clown.
That was not random at all.
Yeah, really, just like randomly walking through the crowd, like okay.
Nobody would notice a clown in the Thanksgiving
All
parade.
right, but even the turkey he beheads is the other guy with the cart.
He was the,
Yeah.
the cart scalper.
So it was all very tactical, very planned out.
Yes.
He had a whole year to
He had a year.
plan his revenge.
And you know what, kids? This is why you do not participate in love triangles. Okay? If you
Love
participate
triangles-
in a lover's triangle, then you have to plan and execute a lot of people.
Yes.
And
You
you
don't
don't
have
have the
to.
time.
You
You don't
don't
have
have
the
to.
energy. I mean, but it leads there apparently.
The
So
whole PSA
all
does
I'm
not
saying,
endorse killing anyone.
all I'm saying is, lovers triangles maybe not, or at least get consent from all involved parties. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's not a triangle, though, in the conventional sense of what you mean by, like...
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Triangles are
triangle.
bad.
Menage a trois are different if you're consenting. Triangles...
Yes, triangles mean somebody's in the dark. So just don't do that.
Don't triangle. Just
don't triangle.
Just straight line it, I guess.
Yeah. Straight line.
I don't know what you...
A to B to C.
A to B to C. Don't go to A to H to Z. I don't know. They also throw shade onto Mitch being possibly the killer as well. Because the kids had talked about it in the cosmetology room. And then he was definitely, when he was there protesting at the parade or whatever. I found it funny, though, in the parade when they come out to protest. I wanted, like, the dad or somebody else, like, we already decided to close the store, asshole.
What more do you want?
The parade. We find out the parade float was not OSHA approved because that bow goes right through
and who is it? Jessica
head.
fucking eats it, man. She just like straight flips over the front and just like does a flip back into the truck or whatever.
That scene, I'm really thinking the one with the grandpa and the thing goes through his head. I'm like, are those kids traumatized? Because they were like, Grandpa, wake up. Grandpa, Grandpa, wake up.
Did those kids know they were in a movie?
Right?
They were like, oh my God.
Were they aware that Grandpa was okay?
What do I do? What do I do?
Jessica.
That's horrible, but I'm always just going to say that. Like, what do I do, Jessica?
Jessica.
It's like a symbol for like, I lost.
It's replaced. I need an adult.
I need Jessica.
Jessica, what do I do?
What do I do?
You know what? Parades aren't worth it. I'm just going to
They're really
say
not.
it. Like,
They're really not.
It's not, I mean, how many times have people gotten hurt in a parade? I mean, even just real parades. I don't even talk about movie parades, right? Movie parades are always creepy. Like, even if Miracle on 34th Street, obviously not a creepy movie, parade still looks creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
See it in black and white. For some reason, it looked even fucking creepier. You see the old black and white version one. The fucking, the little fucking, well, I mean, she's not little anymore, but the Miracle on 34th Street with the little lispy girl. What the fuck's her Mara? Yeah, that's still parade creepy.
Yep.
But you did have a fucking drunken Santa there. So.
You did, yes. So yeah, until the.
Oh wait, I want to talk about Mitch.
Mitch?
Didn't you already talk about Mitch?
Mitch has like been in a million fucking things.
Yeah.
I looked up his IMDb and like I've known him from a handful of things, but he like literally like 174 fucking things. I think it was.
Jeez.
Like TV movies, shit. Like, always remember him from Just Friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite role.
Yeah. Did you not realize that was him?
No, I do know that was him. I'd love to see him, still working is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
$5 I can like have.
Yeah. Here's your money, bitch.
Here's your money, bitch. Classic. Anyway, until the parade, was obviously, right after the parade is when I stopped thinking it could be the stepmom.
Because then she got caught.
Because then she was the turkey. And I have such a problem with that whole scene. Other than, like, obviously he couldn't see her through those tiny little holes. But why does she go for the window? I mean, look around a bit. She spent so much fucking time trying to get that thing off the window. And I'm like, the front door was there literally the whole fucking time.
I know, like,
just go, man.
Hey, dumbass. How does he get in and out?
I know, like, he did not board himself up into this.
The thing that frustrated me about
you know what?
that...
Sorry, Salt. Or, you know what? You're going to fucking die. You need to rampage your shit out of the fucking, like, wood or something. Like,
Yeah.
you get the other bitch out of the fucking thing, just throw her through the wood. I'm like, one of you is going to die, or both of you. It's, or you're going to save everybody. So make some shit happen. Always do something unexpected.
The most frustrating to me about that scene is she had multiple times to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the quietest fucking wooden stairs ever.
Quietest.
When she was going up those, I'm like, seriously, come on.
She could have gotten out so many times.
Yeah.
But didn't.
And I also had a problem because the next scene they cut to the station and this how was he there at
he's
the
just standing there
station
like,
and
"All right,
also prepping the turkey.
Let's look at all this footage.
Like I'm assuming the town isn't super large, but
he's a
still.
busy man. That's why that's what the timer was for. He's like, fuck, I gotta get back.
I gotta get back to the station. They're expecting me.
Shit, I had to put her
I
in.
gotta get the
back to
turkey in.
station.
I mean, we're all busy on
damn it.
Thanksgiving. I get it. I like the fake out that he does with the whole like he's streaming from somewhere because obviously that's your chance to get back and murder everybody at the table. And the whole it was a phone recording a computer screen. I was like, that's
that is the It's the only way that the sheriff could figure it out.
Yeah, he
So, I
couldn't.
mean,
He couldn't just do the rerouting of actual
No,
things
no,
on the
no, no.
computer. He's
I-
just setting
I-
up a cell phone.
I will get to that in a second. But yeah,
I love that they didn't even try to
Are there
get there.
tunnels?
I wrote down, maybe if you weren't playing dress up with the burnt mask, what was her name, Kathleen?
Kathleen. Yeah.
Kathleen wouldn't have moved when he gets back. And I'm like, why was he burning the mask for fun? Like, he was literally just playing, like, I'm going to melt it a little bit. Then he put it on and looked at himself in the mirror for a second. I'm like, you're literally playing dress up right now.
As much as Kathleen was a cunt, and I will say that on the record, Kathleen was a cunt of a character.
Let it be written.
I will say that her comment was, well, if you wouldn't let all your friends in the store, comment was justified.
Yep.
Because
I
I do
don't
blame
know, man.
Jessica for a lot of
Okay,
this.
Jessica was partially to blame, but also it was fucking Kathleen's idea to open on fucking Thanksgiving.
Yes, and I don't, like I said, she was a cunt for her own reasons.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you wrecked my car. Well, if you wouldn't have left the house today, I wouldn't have been able to wreck into you.
And I'm not sure why, but the color of brown that they went for her cooked body, I was like, why does that make me so uncomfortable?
It was almost like she didn't look cooked. It just looked like she had a really bad tan that like hurt a lot.
Yes, but it was uncomfortable to look at.
Yeah.
Like, why is this? It was unnatural in a sense that you were like, gross. Like, if that was, and I don't know if that was the color choice that they were purposely going for, but it worked. It worked for me.
I also
When he
think,
sliced her leg, I was like, no, no, thank you.
When he's basting her, or whatever, I'm like, you like every foot fetish dude is gonna buy this fucking DVD.
Yes.
Where he's just like oiling up her feet and like a little parsley, I'm assuming it was, and between her toes and all that. And what is anything going to do? I mean, really nothing. No, that was not enough spice to make any difference.
No, and with a turkey, you got to put stuff in the cavity to make it have delicious
Apparently,
flavor.
there's a unrated scene that I read somewhere in the trivia on IMDb that there's a take where they had her nude and stuffed. So that may be on the DVD or some shit. I don't know. So she was stuffed in one take, apparently. It's all the fixins.
Yeah, the whole 90s references come back really at the end because we get a couple fake outs. We get the Bobby fake out where we all think it's Bobby.
We think it's him.
Oh, yeah. Like, it can't be Sheriff. He's here laying.
He's been knocked out. It's clearly the man who looked like he just knocked him out. Yes, we get the Bobby fake out. And then right after that, we get the phone fake out because she makes him reveal that
She makes a monologue.
she makes a monologue, and then she reveals like, "Oh, your face looks so stupid" or something like that. She has that whole moment.
The look on your face.
See the look on your face.
No, I wrote down when she's in the room, you know, when they're after their search for Bobby and all that, when they're in the office or whatever. I wrote down they had to sedate your father pretty heavily. He ate a lot of turkey. I mean, Kathleen. Like, what? Why did he eat it? I don't know.
No, he's just been throwing up the whole time. He hasn't stopped throwing up because he does get a good throw up even though he's gagged. I'm like,
I'm like, oh, like that's gotta be the worst thing to have like that gag.
it's
Like,
just stuck in your mouth
yeah,
now.
the gag that's in your mouth, and like obviously you couldn't get all the puke out. Like it's
Yeah.
gotta be just sitting there like in your mouth. Oh, it's all thinking about it too hard.
Oh,
It's just marinating on your tongue and making the rag taste worse.
no.
Okay, we have to talk about the worst part of the whole movie.
Which one?
Yeah, which one?
The worst part for me was when he screams, "This year there will be no leftovers."
And lost his accent.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Dempsey. No, oh no.
This year there will be no leftovers.
Please no. And I have a question for Eli Roth. How many
Well, I think that
how
was-
many takes did this take you? And was this the best one?
I think that was the
what would-
tagline for the fake trailer, though. Where this year there'll be no leftovers. So I get that you have to
Okay.
throw that in there to appease the fans. But okay, here's my thing that I was saying. I read that the trailer makes I read that his inspiration for the trailer in the the Grindhouse thing was that the story was that a boy loved a turkey and his father killed the turkey for Thanksgiving, and then the boy killed his family. And that was the simple story of, the Thanksgiving trailer. So here they're like, okay, we're just going to change it and make it a mishmash of all this other shit. So I'm like, I get that maybe you have to throw that line in and a few other things because I believe the trailer the poster for this movie is supposed to be similar to something in the trailer as well, or the poster for that. So there were little things that I think they sprinkled in to kind of connect the trailer
you
thing.
couldn't just make this like a silly line that you put in somewhere and not. I mean, Patrick Dempsey had to yell it the way he did. Like that
he could have said it in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
although it would have been gross to hear him say it when she pulls that fucking turkey out, and he's like, "Oh, this year there'll be no leftovers."
I would have liked it better there because
it would have been funny. Yeah, I mean,
like literally, my soul went, "Oh no!" and it cringed for Patrick Dempsey.
You just hear them. You just hear them like off in the distance.
Yeah. Like,
shut up!
Why did y'all make him do
I'm
that?
trying to be serious.
And then of course she.
I'm so gonna kill you.
And then of course Jessica has to say, "You were right. There will be no leftovers." And I was like, "Oh my god, I hate everything about this." It
was a complete like, "Oh yeah, well how about them apples?"
And she already had that moment with
she
the
did,
whole
which is
phone
like you should
thing.
see on your face. You never asked me what I was thankful for. No, you know
and
what?
Then
if you were
of
gonna
course she has to shoot a musket at
Yep.
of course, because when the fucking my idiot son with the fucking musket,
and she has a whole
which is like,
backstory about her dad made her learn.
Here's a bit of random exposition. One time when we shot this commercial with my dad, I had to learn how to shoot a musket. I almost blew my fucking hand off. I don't know when that'll ever come in handy.
Right? I don't know why I have to tell you this story after I haven't seen you for a full year, Bobby.
Yeah.
Bitch, I remember that. It was like 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Shut up, Mark Sanchez. You know what? If you're going to make this movie in Boston, like, I wanted it to be fucking, like, horrible Boston accents where, like, I wanted subtitles the whole fucking
that would have
like,
been worse.
If you're going to do it, like, just fucking, like I say, you lay the cheese on, lay the Boston on if you're going to fucking do it, you cowards.
That would be a terrible movie.
I want subtitles. If they can do it for Swamp People, they can do it for Boston.
See, my question still stands. Like, either Roth is either from Boston or from Massachusetts and was like, I know what Massachusetts people are like. I'm just going to go for it. Or he really hates them. Like, he really has to hate them to make them this trashy and this ridiculous and this caricature.
I don't know. Maybe those people are like, yeah, representation.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I guess. I mean, because they were all just like, let's fight each other over a waffle iron. Yeah. I mean, and granted, I think it was just a larger, that's an America.
You're laying the
thing.
camp. You're throwing the cheese on. Then, yeah, I get it. You throw the cheese on, it's going to be something stupid like the fucking waffle iron, right? Like, I get it. It couldn't have been anything less or would have been. Like, if you're like, it makes it too stupid. If you're like, it's a free, something like can opener or something stupid, like a waffle iron. Oh, I don't have one of those.
Yeah.
But you're going to lay the camp, you're going to lay the cheese. That's why the gash in the neck guy still had to go for the waffle iron.
Yeah.
And that lady had to pull it off of his dead hands.
His dead body.
Well, it's the last one. He's not going to use it.
Yeah, and then the last fake out that we get is we get another fake out of a dream ending.
I know the tank said flammable, right?
Yeah.
When she was filling up the turkey.
The turkey.
But I'm pretty sure they don't use flammable gas. Or why that would be.
I know. I was like, why would that be used for a turkey?
Why would that be in an area where you're going to fill up the balloons with whatever you fill them up with? I mean, I don't think it's fucking... I don't know if it's helium or whatever.
It should have been helium.
Well, and that
but
wasn't even like a balloon,
right?
though. That was like a yard decal.
Again, budgets.
I was like,
well, okay. Maybe
that's a yard thing that is filled up with a fan. That's not even filled up with a fucking.
Okay, maybe I'm really just giving them a benefit of the doubt to be like, all right, this is supposed to be a parade. The float thing, like Macy's. You get the big turkey.
It wasn't that
a bunch
big,
of people.
Paul.
Well, I know that, but I mean, it was still filling up.
I mean, Patrick Dempsey is short, but he wasn't that much.
He's a gargantuan man.
Than the thing was. I was like, yeah, that's not.
You
why
should,
would that
you
be
should
filled
be
with
able.
gas?
You shouldn't be able to touch the top of the turkey's head.
Like, I don't think those are supposed to be filled with gas.
Okay, like I said, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Like, this is the setup that they were going for, I assumed. Like, this is the staging area for the fucking parade. Like,
I guess.
Otherwise, like, why did someone just dump their shit here? No one wants these fucking yard decorations. Why are they just like, dumping grounds.
They swear they went to Walmart, got that clown costume.
They sent a poor PA like,
Probably.
They got the clown costume and mask, and then picked up that yard decal around Halloween time, and that's just what they did.
we need to film these scenes in like 2 days. You need to go. Here's $50. You need to get something, a Halloween, I don't know, mask or something, and something Thanksgiving. What?
What?
Yep, $50. That's all you
$50.
got.
Go now.
Make it work.
You need to be back here in an hour.
And hey, you know what? He sold the movie, so kudos to him.
It's worked. You know what? And you had a built-in audience, so I know you didn't have to really you don't have to try.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I get it. Like the people that want it they're gonna watch it, and it's not bad. It's not good.
No. It's camp is what it was.
It is camp, and it's nothing you haven't seen before. It's just you blended a few things through it, updated a few other things into teens that are supposedly from today, and it's a slasher whodunit, 80s style kind of fucking thing.
Now
Yeah.
the question is, what's the over/under on the sequel?
It made
good.
money, so I fully expect there to be.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
give it-
it did make money. You like I said, you got that built-in audience, and and some people enjoy it. I mean,
And it was probably made for dirt cheap, like
I
we
give it-
said.
oh,
so,
yeah.
I give it 2 years. I see within the next 2
Well,
years.
The
I
ROI
love-
has got to be amazing.
oh yeah.
on
I
that.
mean, I love that you got that cliche like no one could survive that blast.
Yeah.
Oh,
we didn't
yeah.
find a body or anything.
And then you get the fake out,
But-
the whole fucking I still know what you did
There's
last
on
summer
fire.
ending.
All you needed was fucking Ryan in there brushing his teeth, amazed by a fucking electric toothbrush, right?
I really thought it was just gonna show Bobby, and then they all just decided to go for it and have the thruple.
Yeah.
See, do the thruple, kids, not the love triangle.
See,
That's
but
what we need.
thruple is a straight line.
Yes.
See, thruple, straight
Thruple.
line.
Yes.
Don't make the triangle, make the straight line.
Straight line,
Connect it how you want. It's up to you, but make the straight line.
because consent is key.
Yes.
You don't want to have to go on a murderous rampage. Is all we're saying.
Again, you don't have to murder anyone.
No.
I'm just
But
saying,
if you do,
if
if you
I'm
call
the
in-
corner of the triangle, I am murdering someone.
Everyone's
So-
a corner of the triangle. In a
Well,
triangle.
if I'm ever in the triangle that's in the dark,
If I'm at the wrong end of the
Yes.
triangle.
somebody's
If
getting
this-
cut.
Okay,
all right?
here it is. If the triangle no longer is equilateral and it becomes a fucking isosceles,
Yes.
someone's getting murdered. I
Just
think I've got those shapes right. It makes sense. in
I
my
know
head.
what kind of person I am, so just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no one could survive that blast,
Yeah, no one.
but we didn't find a body.
But we couldn't find a body. It just
We'll
incinerated.
find
Just
that
went-
out in the sequel.
Right into the air.
Did you look? No, that's not our job, man. That's not my
We
job.
put the fire out.
I know. I love that he was like, nobody could have
This
survived
is-
that, and there's nothing in there. I'm like, so you're trying to explain to me right now that he just was
So don't-
incinerated completely.
So don't even go look in there, because there's a lot of smoke, and we're done.
You're
Yeah.
telling
What do you mean you're done?
You're telling
What
me
does
that
it say?
he was cremated so much so you can't even find a pile of his
What
ashes?
does this say? This says fire. Do you look over there and see a fire? No, we're out of
fought it.
here.
Mm-hmm.
We fought it and
We
we won.
fought it and we won. We are done, son.
Yes.
And then they left.
Yeah.
Who is this fire?
The firefighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That
what they
was
do.
like-
They fight fires.
Paul
They
just
threw
gave
hands
a
at it.
whole backstory for his
No, it was the
character.
firefighter that told them. Like,
Yes.
nobody could have survived that blast. That's literally what he says. And I'm like, ... but we didn't find a body. Just so you know.
Just so you know, you
Somebody else
couldn't-
go do that because it's not our job.
Yeah, like I was saying, we're saying
It's the sheriff's
he
job,
was
but
completely cremated enough.
Well, the sheriff wrote it in the bylaws that he's the only one that can investigate murders.
I mean-
We don't have a sheriff anymore. What do we
Somebody
do?
Tell the sheriff to.
Fuck you, Detective Chew.
All right. Sheriff needs to call the coroner. We don't have a sheriff anymore. Well, fuck.
I think the sheriff killed the coroner. What?
God damn it! I don't have the numbers.
He just had a heart attack. There's so many bodies piling up.
Ugh, and then the end credits. The end credits in the opening credits. I'm like, this is so 80s.
Yep.
The whole like dripping letters. I'm
Okay.
like so 80s. And then the Fight Mart graffiti all over everything.
I wrote down, remember, this whole movie is predicated on a smallish town Massachusetts sheriff not only knowing how to use social media, but also how to use cloned IP addresses.
yes.
And I also wrote down another point when he started showing when he has that shot of the the security guard's head and then the waitress behind him at the table.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, Instagram's gotten really lax about their violation policies
Yeah,
for
they
shit like
have.
this.
Nobody
And,
flagged it.
So I'm like, nobody flagged anything. And I get that he was only friends with those people, but then when he's live streaming, like, who are all these likes?
He wasn't friends with those people though. He just kept tagging them.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
I'm like, y'all didn't block him. Y'all
Why
just-
didn't they say at one point, like, I keep blocking you, but they just keep making a new account or something? I
Oh,
don't
no,
know.
that was because the footage kept getting late.
Yeah, that was when dumbass Evan said he didn't put out a video, but totally put out that YouTube video, and
Yeah.
that's what kicked off the whole spree. That's what they were talking about.
Well, I think they were
He was
saying that
in-
someone else has been posting it, like he had taken it down or whatever.
Yeah, he
but
took it
someone
down,
else
but
keep posting
they
it.
keep reposting it because the internet is forever, kids.
Yes.
Don't put your bits on the internet.
Again, this old
Unless you
small
want to, get paid.
town, unless this small town sheriff knows how to fucking download videos off of YouTube and use social media and all these things, this is not happening in real life. Old people don't know technology.
Nope.
They don't. They really don't.
That man couldn't even cook his own turkey.
No.
He could make a pie though.
Yes.
I would feel weird about eating.
Also,
Like a pie like that.
on the whole triangle thing, maybe not get another dude's wife pregnant. Just saying.
I do have a
Don't
question.
get anyone pregnant if you're in a throuple.
What the hell happened to Gina Gershon? She used to be hot.
I don't know. What do you mean? What happened to her?
That's what I'm wondering.
Age happened.
Yes.
Honey, that's
she
what
used to be
happens
hot.
to
And then I
everybody.
saw her and I'm like, that can't
She's
be
like
her. And then I saw that it was her. I'm
60
like,
years
what
old?
the
I don't
hell?
know. I don't
You
how
know
old she
people
is.
age, Saul.
Yes, but some of them age gracefully.
Who?
She didn't.
Who?
It's crazy.
They don't age gracefully. They just go away.
Yeah, name one old people.
and that's what you're.
Yeah, if
she's
you-
just still in your face.
yeah, like if you saw fucking like okay, close your eyes. Think of Sean Connery. I guarantee what you
Ugh.
think of in your fucking head does not look like what he does today.
because
Because he's dead.
No,
you
well,
saw
he
him.
slunk
No, I'm
out
saying-
of
I'm saying like
slunk out of you before
Yeah,
he died.
He slunk out of you way before he died, right? But I'm saying like what he looked like right before he died and what you pictured in your head, definitely not the same fucking thing.
But still, though. some
That's
people
why
age-
they all just disappear. Like
Look
you
at
know,
Selma Hayek. She still looks gorgeous.
she's got lots of money.
So did Gina Gershon.
You don't know how much people's net worth are.
Still.
No, if we should be asking anything, we should be asking what happened to McDreamy. Because no, McDreamy, no.
What? Why do you McDreamy? No, he's
I know
the,
you cheated on your wife.
He's
and
the
some things
nerd from
happened.
Can't Buy Me Love. What do you mean McDreamy?
McDreamy.
No,
McDreamy.
Can't Buy Me Love. He'll always be that guy.
Oh, he'll be Dr. Derek Shepard. I learned a lot about.
Boo.
I learned a lot about brain surgery from him, and now he's screaming about no
really.
leftovers. And I
Yeah.
just,
No leftovers.
oy vey, oy vey.
You want white meat, attack meat.
And that was it.
See that makes me feel old. I'm like, oh
White meat or dark meat?
no, Patrick Dempsey.
It makes you feel old.
What did you say today?
What did I say today?
Oh, How I
Something
Met Your
came up.
Mother.
Yeah.
How
I
long
Met
was
Your
it?
Mother ended 10 years
Ended
ago.
10 years ago. Jesus Christ. This whole fucking decade ago. Where did the time go? Such a shit ending to that show. But we're not talking about that.
We talked about this.
Yeah, there's going to be a sequel.
Yep.
I don't see
Oh,
why
yeah,
there wouldn't be.
for sure.
Okay, no. Look, here's my thing. Did any of these fucking murders actually occur on Thanksgiving?
I don't
No.
think
I don't
so.
think any of them
No.
fucking did. I wrote that down. I'm like, wait, how is this movie? This movie could have been called Black Friday if there wasn't already a movie called Black Friday.
Mhm. Maybe that's what happened. He wanted to call it Black Friday, but there was already the Devon Sawa and Bruce.
No, but
Campbell.
the trailer said Thanksgiving. Right? I've never seen it. Have you seen it, Saul?
Yeah.
It says think that the movie
Yeah.
was called Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
But then none of these fucking murders happened on Thanksgiving.
Well, it was because the stampede happened on Thanksgiving.
Some of them did.
The
Okay.
opening did.
Okay, was that
The
didn't
whole
make,
opening
okay,
was
but the
Thanksgiving.
opening was because it was Thanksgiving night, and that was the whole thing. They're going to be open on Thanksgiving to
Yeah.
open
And
the
it was-
store
I
for,
And then,
for Black
and
Friday.
then the parade.
But the thing says a year later, but obviously it's not Thanksgiving a year later when they're all doing whatever the fuck they're doing because these guys are going to have a football game on Thanksgiving and
Yeah,
they're
it's
doing
got
all
to
this
be
other
like at
shit.
least
Yeah.
a week or
Like
more
yeah,
before.
this was like leading up to Thanksgiving. So I'm like, the whole thing I thought was like, okay, so the day he gets them all at the table, that'll be Thanksgiving. But then I'm like, but that's not Thanksgiving
It
either.
was a Thanksgiving table.
There you go.
So
I
that's
know, but
why.
I'm like, but
that's why.
like, if you're gonna plan this, then be better, bro.
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
fuck, brah.
he didn't even think of a good tagline before he became a murderous.
Well, you
villain.
couldn't say you want white meat or dark meat because that's kind of racist because they did have a black friend.
And didn't they already say that in
Well, I think they did.
Blood Rage? Was that in
the
Blood
trailer?
Rage?
I think so.
I think it was in the trailer for the Thanksgiving.
Blood Rage was the Thanksgiving one, right?
No. I mean the fake Thanksgiving trailer in the
I know what you're
Grindhouse.
talking
thing
about,
that
but
I-
I'm talking about
I think they
the
used
other
that
one.
the white meat or dark meat and the no leftovers and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
The thing that I do remember also about the trailer, there was two of them. There was the one in the movie, and then there was an extended fake one. And in the extended fake one, they had the trampoline scene.
Oh, okay. So the trampoline scene was in the trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that
okay.
was why it was lit so weird.
Okay, then I guess I can get that if it was in the fucking trailer, but
It
it
was
still
in that
makes
one
no fucking sense.
Because yeah, they had that one. Like they released the one during the Grindhouse thing. When then they did, like they released fuller, longer versions of the trailers. Like after.
This is a lot of work to put into a fake thing if you never really intended to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously they did, and
And they did
done
that.
well. So.
And they did that. The thing that I remember was they did the trampoline scene. So it was just kind of one of those things.
But maybe now that I've seen the movie, I'll watch the stupid trailers.
I think there's only two of them left if they ever decided to make the other ones.
Yeah, I think that's what I read in the trivia as well. But that was it.
That was
That
it.
was Thanksgiving.
It's not great. It's not good.
It's fun.
But it's a good time. Watch it at least once.
Yes.
It's fun
Have
for
fun.
what it is.
Yeah, have
It's
fun with it.
free on Netflix right now.
Don't expect a masterpiece, but I mean, if you've watched Eli Roth, you know what not to expect already. So
Yeah.
Some people love Eli Roth, so
And
a
I
lot
get
of
it.
people go into this one knowing full well what it is, and
those are the people that really dig this movie, and those are the people that are hoping for a sequel. And I get that. I mean, that's just not. He's just not my flavor.
I will watch a sequel only if Patrick Dempsey comes back as a crispy critter.
You should.
He has to come back, and maybe the whole mask burning thing was alluding to that.
No, I want him like full on crispy because they said no one could survive it. So I want him like whole black and like crispy.
Just, so, like, if Freddy had survived,
Yes, that's what
He'd
I
be
want.
like Chucky.
he's charred.
Yes,
Oh,
He'd be
there you
like
go.
Chucky.
yes.
Yeah,
That's
like
the-
that.
that's
the
what I
chart.
need,
Oh
yes.
god, that hurts me just to think about like anything touching your skin. You're that burnt. Like,
Ow.
oh.
But that's what I want. I need that full body, like I'm a crunchy critter.
See,
now.
the only way that would work is if you picked it up like the same day.
Yeah, and then you just go full into camp with that. Like, there's no
Yep.
way that dead crunchy thing is
He's
walking around killing people.
He's wearing a firefighter's.
like at one point,
full
his
gear.
arm just like breaks
No,
off.
like I want like
Yeah.
the skin like to just deglove, just like just sheets of it just to like slide off his back. Like,
So Eli Roth, I guess, call us is what we're saying. We have some ideas
And questions.
and questions. Do you hate people from Massachusetts? Let me know. Anyway,
who hurt you? Who hurt you?
That was Thanksgiving.
And they had a thick Boston accent.
And we did not do an Easter movie, but we did do a holiday movie. So
Yes.
happy Easter. This was Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Why did we do things?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No one knows. But we will be back.
It was available.
Yeah, we'll be back in a few weeks with another new episode. If you guys have anything that you want us to review or do that has come out in the last year or so, let us know. You can shoot us an email. You can contact us on the socials. You can leave us a comment. You can always review our podcast and do all the things you do. Subscribe, like, comment. Hooray.
Yes. Do all of those and more.
And we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Go fuck your mother.